All of us here at St. John's hope that you and your family and friends had a wonderful Labor Day weekend and were able to spend some time connecting and kind of in that last little bit of transition from summer and into fall on the program year. And now things really are off to the races. Here at St. John's this coming weekend, as we have done the past several years, our Sunday on the Sunday after Labor Day is a little bit of another hinge point, another transition. We will have 3 different liturgies in 3 different locations, so you have plenty to choose from. We'll have our 8 o'clock Rite One service in the chapel with a couple of verses of hymn at the beginning and end. Then at 10:30, we will have the Dog Church Band, the Lakeshore Church Bluegrass Band will be here, but we will have our Lakeshore type service in the courtyard here downtown at the cathedral. And that's at 10:30, not at the 9 o'clock that service normally is. And then if you are really hankering for a service in the cathedral church, we invite you to join us at 4:45 for choral evensong, our choir's first evensong of the season. So 3 very different liturgies, 2 of them with Eucharist, in 3 different locations, very different kinds of liturgies and different kinds of music experiences, worship experiences. You are welcome to come to any or all of them. There is no maximum number. If you want 3 different experiences in a Sunday, please join us for all 3. That would be wonderful. At the 8 o'clock service, because this is more of a standalone service, it isn't simply a pared down Rite One version of the 10:30. It really is its own service. We will sing some of the 8 o'clock crowd's favorite hymns. We'll start off with Morning Has Broken, which seems to be one of their favorite hymns to sing. And then it will follow the lectionary and have that normal Rite One service. The 10:30, as I say, will sort of imitate or mimic the Lakeshore experience, but it will be here downtown in the courtyard, and it will have that relaxed feel and that wonderful bluegrass music that we've come to enjoy so much with that service. At Choral Evensong, we will have our now traditional 25-minute organ prelude. This month we will have Dr. Kevin Seal, who is from an Episcopal church in Asheville, North Carolina, coming and joining us with a very interesting program of some organ repertoire that might even be familiar. So it's not esoteric or anything very hard to follow. The choir will be singing, it's sort of fitting for a festive kind of Sunday like this, we'll be singing one of the more exuberant settings of the Magnificat and Nunc Dimittis by the New York-based composer Harold Friedel. And this feels very much like mid-century modern, midtown Manhattan. It's kind of Cecil B. DeMille, Panovision, Technicolor vision. It's all these big effects, painting with a very broad brush. It starts off with these big chords that don't progress in a way that normal music does, and yet it has this exhilarating thrill right from the beginning. And the choir comes in with the opening words, "My soul doth magnify the Lord." One of the really interesting things, each phrase has its own little personality. One of the interesting things about this setting, both the Magnificat and the Nunc Dimittis end with choir and the organ is absent. At the end of the Magnificat, at the end of the Gloria Patri, it's fortissimo and everything is going in full tilt and the choir lands on that last chord and the organ suddenly drops out. At the end of the Nunc Dimittis, very fittingly for the text of the Nunc Dimittis, "Lord, lettest thou thy servant depart in peace," it ends very peacefully. And that final amen, it decrescendos and the organ then simply just drops out while the choir sings the amen in this very serene a cappella setting. Very interesting. It's the only setting of the Magnificat and Nunc Dimittis that I'm aware of that has organ, and yet the organ doesn't play on the last chord. So a little bit of trivia there. For the anthem at Evensong, the choir will be singing Jerry Hancock's Judge Eternal, and that's also, again, from the same kind of area. He was at Midtown Manhattan at St. Thomas Fifth Avenue, and sort of that same vintage, kind of that mid-century modern. So a lot of really compelling, interesting music, And of course, there will be a reception following, hopefully in the courtyard, and if not, in the parlor. We hope that you will join us here at St. John's Cathedral for a day full of worship this coming Sunday. Remember, there are no more services this year down at Lakeshore Park, and that the service at 10:30 will be outside. 8 o'clock in the chapel, 10:30 in the courtyard, and then 4:45 in the Cathedral Church. We hope to see you then.